John, I want to start jumping into the conversation about the CYA, and I don't know if you saw, Zach and I were really kind of talking about it a little bit. And really, as pool guys, a lot of people don't get into the nitty gritty and explain very black and white what it is that CYA does, right? So we always hear that, oh, it's not good, or oh, it's a, and like I was explaining to Zach, it's not easy because if a pool doesn't have chlorine, it turns green. So the pool's green, so it's visible. But having a high CYA doesn't necessarily mean that your pool's going to turn green or it's going to turn yellow, but yet it really controls your pool.
Absolutely.
And so what I want to do, and I know that you're a lot better at this, is breaking this stuff down. And I'll have a recap of my thoughts about it, but I think it's the perfect time to talk about it because we talked about hypo, we talked about liquid chlorine, but we didn't have anybody on the podcast to talk about the dry chlorine and the benefits and the negatives to it. So those are the things that obviously we need to do. So I'm going to pick your brain and let's get started, guys. So John, I know that obviously CYA has a benefit, and that is that it protects the sun from the chlorine. Absolutely. So it protects it from the ultraviolet rays and from being able to break it down, and that your chlorine is going to last 8 times longer with CYA, right? It makes that chlorine last that much longer based on how much you have. And so we know that people say, hey, without CYA, in 2 hours, you'll lose 75% of that chlorine that's in the water. Now, guys, just to clarify, you will see people say that you can lose up to 90, 95%. You search it on the internet, you see it on there. So people say, hey, well, no, it's not 75%, it's 90 to 95%. But I just wanted to clarify, because in talking to Bob, he made it very clear, hey, you can't have 90 to 95% loss, but that's really in shallow water. And when that pool is really kind of at about a 7.5. So just to clarify, guys, in an average pool, you're going to lose about 75% in 2 hours with no CYA, and then in the next 2 hours, you're pretty much in 4 hours, you've lost all chlorine from that pool.